This is our 2016 eGolf. Um, I'm currently driving this one right now because when the pandemic started, my daughter got laid off, and so I parked my other car and been using this for a while. I want to do a review of the car. It's almost a year now of ownership, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. Top of the morning, just getting ready to go to work. So this is the car that I was talking about that I'm gonna do a review on. It's plugged in right now. I'm gonna unplug it, and I do have a level 2 charger for this vehicle. I had a level 1 only before, and that took like about 20 hours to charge. This one only takes like 4, close to 5 hours. I'm gonna close this up, get in the car, and start this review. Okay, yeah, good morning once again. I want you guys to notice or take a look at that range. It says 146 kilometers. The actual range for this vehicle is 80 miles or 130 plus a little bit. That's coming out of the factory. That's the range. So I wanted to do this video review of this vehicle, and part of the reason for that is so that if there are any of you guys out there that are interested in switching to an electric car, this sort of might help you make a decision if it's something that is for you. Because like I said, when I started driving this during the pandemic started, because my daughter got laid off, I have saved quite a bit of money on gas. Like, I haven't paid for gas for the last couple months, and I don't have a problem with range anxiety as well, because it's quite useful to be able to charge here, and I also charge at work, because I'm using my level 1 charger when I'm at work, and that also makes me, or allows me, to save some money for our utilities. Okay, I'll show you sort of what my routine is in the morning when I get in the car. Certain settings that I want to put it in, so that I use the charge efficiently and also extend my range. So we'll go ahead and start engine. If you notice, we started at 143, now it's 129, and the reason for that range change is because everything will be on, like the climate control will be on, and the climate control is set at 22, so it's trying to warm up the vehicle. That reduces the range, obviously. So since the car is already warm, because I have this vehicle set at to warm up the vehicle at nighttime or in the morning, just before 6 a.m. and it automatically does that because I set that on the departure time of the car. The next thing I'm gonna do is change the driving mode. That's normal, that's eco, and that's eco plus. I drive at eco plus. That setting turns off the temperature settings on the climate control. You will have the vents going, but you can't adjust the heat or the coldness if you have the AC on. Also, the best thing about that is it limits the speed to 96 kilometers per hour, which basically extends your range if you're not able to go really fast. Now, after setting or picking Eco Plus, you go back to the range, and now it's at 151. so it's climbed back up. We're fully charged right now, and we're gonna go for a ride. It's gonna be a 20-kilometer trip to my work, and we'll see how much we have left when I get there. Okay, so let's go for a ride. Another thing I'd like to share to basically extend the range of your electric vehicle, specifically the eGolf, is to choose these settings. So I'll put it on drive, and if you notice, there's a plus and a minus button there. And what that does is, if you press it to the left, it'll go to recuperation stage 1. Press it again, and it goes to stage 2, and then stage 3, which is the highest. And what it does basically is, when you release the gas, you'll feel that the car is it feels like it's braking, and what it does is it's using that braking regeneration, I guess, to charge the batteries, therefore extending your range and also charging the battery cells. So the highest setting, which I often use, is the B setting. And I believe that's the maximum regenerative braking that's used by the vehicle to be able to charge it back, or put the charge back into the batteries while you're coasting or slowing down. And that's going to be a B that shows up there on the dash. Anyways, let's get going. So we're going for a drive now, heading to work. Another thing I'd like to share, that's sort of a perk when you're driving an electric car, is it really makes for a relaxing drive. You don't hear any engine noise. It's just basically the car moving along. It doesn't have any sort of a jerking moves from transmission switching, because it's only got basically one gear. It just goes from drive, and it just stays on that gear, and it just keeps going, and while you're stepping on the gas or the accelerator pedal. I guess there's no gas in this car, so I should call it accelerator. Anyways, that's one thing to look forward to when you're driving an electric car. It's nice and quiet. It's a relaxing drive. Basically, it doesn't make a ton of noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yeah, it's lovely. And there is one other thing that I'd like to mention, and I hope I don't offend anyone. This car we actually bought used for under $20,000. So, I think part of the reason why people want to go electric is to save money on gas. And if you want to save money on gas, obviously you want to save money on everything else. So if you're able to buy an expensive electric car like a Tesla, and you're paying monthly payments on a car like that, I think it kind of defeats the purpose of having or trying to save money, because the money you're going to save on your gas, you're basically ending up paying on your monthly payments for that ridiculously expensive car, right? It's just that's just my opinion. I'm sure you guys have might not agree with me, but that's just my thought. So yeah, I just pulled into work. I'll show you guys how much range I have left and how much battery charge it actually used up. Okay, we started at just about 150 plus, I think 152 or 153, and now we're at 148. The charge level went down about a line and a half, but we actually traveled 20 kilometers average speed of about 41 kilometers per hour. It's a 29-minute drive, and it shows that we used up 10.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer. So even though we traveled 20, the range is still only shows it as it used up about 4 kilometers, which is kind of nice. And also the charge level it didn't use up much. Now, part of the reason why I got good results is because of the settings that I chose, that Eco Plus setting, and turning off the climate control because I don't really need it, and also putting the light switch on 0, which only turns on the LED driving lights. Yeah, so next thing I'll do most likely is put it on normal, and you guys can see how much energy or charge it consumes when it's at normal. I just like to use these settings and see how efficient it can get if you choose the right settings when you're driving an electric car. So end of the day, heading home. Let's check how much we have left in range. It's showing as 125 kilometers, so it went down, and that's because everything is on. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna drive it in normal. Driving mode is gonna be normal, and I'll leave the climate control on, and so you'll notice, or you'll see what the power consumption will be with everything on. Okay, let's get started. So we just got home. Looks like we have 97 kilometers of range left, and the actual charge we used up about 3 lines, so we're down to about 3/4 in the actual battery charge. Let's check the distance traveled, and it shows us 22 kilometers at 41 kilometers per hour, 33-minute drive. Used up 14.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So it's still not too bad. I still have about 100 kilometers left, and if you remember, the total range for this car is really 130, but I've already traveled 42 kilometers, and it's still in sort of a good range. Anyways, I hope that helps somewhat for you guys to understand what it's like to drive an electric car. Thanks.